Blessings, elders of the light. Today we are talking about the mysteries of Idlozi nesthunywa. In current Bantu initiation, there are two main branches or systems of initiation, which are called Idlozi nesthunywa, ancestors and messengers, Badimu and Sirungwe, or Badimu Lisidimu. All the ancestral spirits and healing spirits that we know can be categorized under these two branches, Idlozi nesthunywa. Amadlozi, the ancestral spirits, are the souls of your family members who have passed on. They lived their human lives and they have passed on. Izithunywa, the messengers, Sirungwe, are the type of spirits that have never existed as humans. These are spiritual beings that usually work with healers. Though they may be connected to you and your family, they have never incarnated as humans. This is a major difference between the two branches, and this difference means that the initiates who belong to these branches are never initiated the same way. When an initiate is activated or has an ancestral calling within a given family, the family will ask themselves two questions. Who else in the family had an ancestral calling? And which ancestor has returned, or which ancestor is calling you? To find these answers is fairly easy when you are working with ancestral spirits, amadlozi. But when you are working with izithunywa, the messengers, you cannot know exactly which grandfather or grandmother is possessing you, because you are working with something that is not a human spirit or a human soul. Under izithunywa, we have spirits like Inzuza, Abelozi, Ihosana, Indlondlo, Umamlambo. These are not human ancestors. Abelozi, for example, are not human. We cannot even say they are male or female. Inzuza is also non-human. Ihosana, Ndlondlo, Mamlambo, and all they are non-human. Under Idlozi, we have Amandawe, Amandiki, Izizwe, Amakhosi, Amanono, etc. Although Amanono, the children ancestors, do fall under Izithunywa because some have died at a young age, others were never even born. So some of these children did not really have human lives. That's why they can also fall under Izithunywa. The gift of Idlozi is passed on from one family member to the next. The gift of Isthunywa can also be passed on, but sometimes it works differently. For example, let's say your great-grandmother was working with Abelozi, and then she passes on, and then after 2 generations you get born, only to find out later in your life that you are also gifted with Abelozi, the whistlers. The Abelozi that you are gifted with will not always be the same as your grandmother's Abelozi. That's why you can have more than 10 initiates all in one family and all working with Abelozi. Although these initiates are under one family, which is gifted with the same type of ancestral spirit, each initiate is connected to their own individual spirit of Abelozi, can be Indlondlo, it can be Inzuza, etc. So, Isthunywa, even though it is not a human spirit, it is a family spirit. It is a family gift. There are families that are connected to particular non-human spirits. Due to this connection, these families often refer to this spirit as their ancestor. It does happen that in one family, they can be using the same messenger, and then this messenger gets passed on from one person to the next, where one can find that their messenger is exactly the same as the messenger that their grandmother was working with. An initiate can fall under both these two branches at the same time. So you can have an ancestral gift and you can have the messenger's gift. In fact, ancient Bantu initiation schools were designed to accommodate both these two branches. Even modern initiation schools, Izimpande, and African churches recognize these two branches. Their initiation schools are designed to accommodate both the mysteries of Idlozi, nesthunywa, the ancestors and the messengers. And the dominant branch is easily recognizable among the initiation schools. Right? So people who are gifted with izithunywa often receive initiation under African churches. People who work with ancestors receive their initiation under a traditional healer, the Gobela. African churches recognize the mysteries of Idlozi, and on the other hand, traditional healers do recognize the mysteries of the messengers. Though these two branches are now manifested under African churches and modern traditional healing, these two branches are very ancient. They were designed by ancient initiates. They may be modernized, they may be distorted and diluted, but the underlying mysteries remain untouched. And as I like to say, though the traditions change, the mysteries remain the same. Initiates who are initiated under izithunywa often unfold differently from those who are under amadlozi. They may have different dreams, different symptoms pertaining to their calling. They may undergo different initiations, and they may manifest different spiritual gifts or ways of healing. The initiates who are under amadlozi usually dream of their ancestors. They may dream of their grandfathers or grandmothers teaching them this or that, or showing them this or that. They may also dream of traditional healing tools, traditional divination tools, the ancestral medicine bag, iskwama, or the ancestral initiatory traditions like ritual dancing, ukugida, etc. So, the initiates who are under the fraternity of Idlozi dream mostly about traditional things. The initiates who are connected with izithunywa, the messengers, will dream of beings that are out of this world. They dream of ancient gods, water spirits, nature spirits, etc., depending on their gift. They may also dream of churches, temples, pyramids, galactic beings from the stars, etc. They may also dream of church garments or garments from an ancient priesthood. They may dream of religious symbols or ancient symbols from an ancient forgotten priesthood. An initiate under the fraternity of Idlozi may dream of the ancestors wearing a traditional attire. And a person of Isthunywa may dream of the ancestors wearing church garments. An initiate under Idlozi may dream of healing people with herbs, and the initiate of Isthunywa may dream of healing people through prayer, water, or iziwasho, healing salts. Now, this also brings us to the gifts. The gifts between these two initiates are the same. The difference is in how they perform these gifts. An initiate of Idlozi and an initiate of Isthunywa can both divine and they can both heal, but they often do these things differently. An initiate of Idlozi has Indumba, a traditional healing heart, and an initiate of Isthunywa has Iladi, which is a religious-based healing heart. In terms of divination, an initiate of Idlozi may use impepho, traditional incense, imibhemiso, psychoactive divination herbs, indawula or ditawula, which are divination bones. They may also divine through ukufemba, which is channeling. And obviously, in extremely rare cases, they may also divine through the recital of their ancestral clan names. Well, this is not as obvious. The traditional clan names that we have can be used as a form of prayer to raise the spirits, but this mystery is for another day. The initiates who are under the messengers izithunywa often use things like prayer to divine. They use the Bible to divine. They use fire, water, and the combination of the two, like matchsticks and water, for divination. Because this initiate is less traditional than the initiate of Idlozi, she is allowed to use less traditional ways of divination and healing for that matter. The initiate of Isithunywa Sirungwe is less traditional due to the fact that she is working with spiritual entities that are not human. So they are not limited to the traditional ways of one's tribe. That's why you find initiates of Isithunywa using less traditional or alternative ways of healing and divination. They may use things like numerology, astrology, divination cards, dominoes, Yi Ching, or the I Ching, etc. The less traditional ways of divination which are adopted by these initiates of Isithunywa are done accordingly to their revelations. In other words, they use these methods because they were shown, whether in dreams, in visions, or in their seeing. In terms of healing, the initiate of Idlozi often use herbs to heal people. The initiate of Isithunywa may use prayer, water, fire, or candles, healing salts, iziwasho, wools, or izintambo, right, etc. Although I have spoken about the two branches, and I repeat, I've spoken about the two branches as two separate entities. We often have cases of people who have a calling of both Isithunywa neDlozi. This is understandable because essentially these branches are one. This is why African churches recognize and accommodate Idlozi, and traditional initiation schools also recognize and accommodate Isithunywa. Isithunywa and Idlozi are initially under the same umbrella, and they were designed at a very ancient time by very ancient initiates to accommodate the forces working within a human being. As much as I have tried to explain these branches separately, I will also try to explain the unity between the two branches and why all initiates are basically initiated under the two branches. The order of Idlozi nesthunywa is an ancient system of initiation, and in part 2 of our video we will talk more about this ancient design. So do subscribe and do like and share. For now we say Magdedu Bumnyama Kuvela Ukukhanya. Tsau.